Hey, what's up, everybody? Tonight's gonna just be kind of a chill night. It's right before Christmas. I don't know how many people is gonna even come in here. But I really appreciate everybody that is here. Jill, Tala, and I appreciate the comment from Kevin from earlier. Um, I just wanted to get on here tonight and just keep it real with people. And it kind of goes with Kevin's comment that I actually read earlier, um, saying that he's busy tonight, but he wants me to talk about how I feel with the kratom and Suboxone stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about. I have no notes tonight. So, hey, Tara, glad you're here. Um, I'm just going off the cuff, and I've never done that on here, but to be honest with you, I didn't feel like coming up with notes. So, just going to keep it real tonight and also want anybody to share any struggles that you're having. I know that for a lot of people during the holiday season, this can be a difficult time for people. So, I think before a lot of us go and meet up with some of our friends and family. It's good to talk about what those triggers might be, um, because I know back in the day, that's when I used the most. I would go see my family and friends, and then I would go get loaded afterwards. So, anyways, what's up, Rev? What's up, Liz? Glad y'all can make it. So yeah, I think a lot of you know that I've been coming off my Suboxone. It's exactly a week. So this time last week was my last dose. Um, and it's been quite the journey so far. And I really appreciate all of you guys because I feel I wouldn't have been able to make it this far without a community like this. So I really appreciate everybody. Merry Christmas to you, Rev. But yeah, I may seem kind of low energy tonight because if anybody has been through this before, it's like ups and downs, kind of the whole time when you're in withdrawal. But the whole idea of this channel is just to keep it real and to share, um, all the struggles I'm having, all the triumphs, and all of that stuff because I'm not above anybody. So, thank you for that, Tara. Thanks for your support. But yeah, so like I said last week, I kind of took that last dose. It was really an extra dose of Suboxone, which was not a smart thing to do. Um, I kind of like gave myself a last reward, which is not a good mindset to have going into this. But this entire process has been really revealing to me, um, because the last time that I did this, I didn't have as much introspection during this process, because I was like flying high on a Jesus taper, and so I think I've realized I needed to go through this to really humble me and make me realize, like, sometimes when you conquer something, it's not going to be easy. Most of the time, it's not going to be easy. And so it's that whole idea of, in the Bible, it says, pick up your cross and follow after me. So if you look at that story of Jesus right before he's led to the cross and all the suffering he went through, but yet he endured it for a greater goal. And so I've been really reflecting on that this past week, and it's really helped me. Let's see some comments. What's up, Marky? So Liz says, I'm tapering down off Suboxone. Awesome, Liz. What is your dose right now? I'm curious. Yeah, tapering is not, I mean, that's, I'm proud of you for doing that because it's not easy. Like, I've tried to taper for so many years, and it seems like before this year I would just taper down and then I'd end up going right back up. So, good job. And Rev says, I want to thank you for being transparent and willing to be open with your struggles. Yeah, man. You know, I like those people that paint this picture and that everything's perfect just because they have a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's not me. Like, it's not, we're going to struggle in this world. And so if somebody thinks that once you give your life to Christ, it's going to be just, butterflies and rainbows, that's a misconception, and that's really setting somebody up to fail. So it's a process. I mean, everything is. I appreciate you, Tala. Liz says, I have been on Suboxone for almost a year to get off bad kratom addiction. Right on. Well, I mean, the fact that you're tapering at 1 year is amazing. I mean, it's 7.5 years for me. So, um, that's saying a lot. So 4 milligrams. Yeah, I mean, that's a good dose. Definitely. I was on 16 milligrams for 7 years. And I, like I said, I would try to taper, but I actually like got to where I was even taking more than 16 milligrams. Even though it really did nothing for me, I would go to work and I would just like overtake my strips just constantly, like every hour take a piece of a strip. And it was just crazy because I would run out of strips at the end of the month and I would buy them off the street. That's how, I mean, a lot of people don't like to talk about the fact that Suboxone can become an addiction. And I think that's really what I've been reflecting on this week is how I thought that I had really done, and I had done a lot of recovery work, but it's really revealed to me that there's a lot more work to be done. And Tara says, had ketamine treatment today in bed recovering. Right on, Tara. I'm glad you had your treatment and I hope you rest well. Liz says, Suboxone did its job. Now it's time to move forward. That's a great mindset. Exactly. And I don't ever want to speak ill of any, you know, um, therapies like Suboxone and methadone because it does a lot of good for a lot of people and it gets you to kind of a place where you can start working on yourself and but I think after 3 years for me was probably the time to start getting off, but I just wasn't ready, right? Sometimes we're just not ready. And even to this day, like this entire week, I'm like, am I really ready for this? Like today I was thinking, what's my life going to be like without a substance? Because I don't think I had really realized that, after I conquered my uppers addiction, I just rolled right into, like, I went through recovery and I was clean from pretty much everything. I had a few slips here and there, but for about a year. And then I just rolled into, abusing pain pills. So from that point, you know, um, I don't think I've opened up about this on the channel, but I actually, had a really bad habit with oxycodones, Roxy's, 30s, and I would take like 5 to 6 every day. So that's a lot, and I would snort them. I wouldn't just ever take them. So I still had that addiction to snorting things at that point. But I finally had had enough. Like I was spending so much money Um, the woman that I was with, she had an addiction as well, so it was like we were both in that really bad place, and so I decided to check myself into a detox, and when I did that, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have to go through withdrawals, right? They're gonna give me comfort meds, they're probably gonna give me counseling, all of that stuff, and that's what I wanted. Um, but actually, when I met with the doctor, he gave me like I think I went into withdrawal for about 3 days, and then he met with me and said, "I'm prescribing you a new medication, and I want you to start taking it today." And I said, "Okay." I mean, I at that point I really trusted doctors, right? So, um, I mean, he was a psychiatrist, so I was like, "Okay, well, maybe it's something for my mental health or whatever," because was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So, um, I went to the little medicine counter and they handed me something. I was like, "What the heck is this? It's not a pill. It's this little strip, this orange." And they said, "Put it under your tongue." And so I think at that time it was like they gave me like a whole 4 milligram strip to take at once. And so I took it, and then I remember like I don't know how probably like 30 minutes later, I was like, "Holy crap, I feel amazing." I was like, "This is you know, the best medicine I've ever had. I have no clue what I'm taking." I did not know what subs was. And so um I've been processing that this week that I was not given informed consent to being on subs. And that's really screwed up. And I remember going back to the doctor and saying, "What is this stuff? Because this feels better than even pain pills because it stays with me. Like I'm not having to go take a bunch of pain pills." And he said, "Well, this is just what you're gonna have to be on possibly for the rest of your life." Like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna need to come see me a lot more often." So it was like in that moment, I didn't see him in a lab coat. I saw him on a street corner. And that's not the case for a lot of people. There's good doctors out there. But that was just one heck of a way to start, a 7.5 year long struggle. And it was technically against my will. So I felt the first 3 years, I actually felt good about it. You know, I was able to get my life back in order. I wasn't going to score pain pills all the time. I wasn't snorting things. So that drive to snort things went away. Um, and I got back into recovery. Um, but at the same time, like I went to back to NA and Narcotics Anonymous, and they told me, "Oh, you're on Suboxone. You're not actually clean." And I remember that hitting me one day. I'm like, "Wow, I guess I'm not. But how do I get off this?" And I remember the first time I looked up like how to get off Suboxone, and everything was so terrible. Like it was like you're gonna need like a year of your life, basically. And I was like, "Oh my gosh," because like a pain pill withdrawal, you can get over it. It's short acting. So um I was prepared for that, but I was not prepared for the the long haul of subs. If I was, that would have been different. Um, so, you know, this week I've had to like pray to have forgiveness because I didn't realize until this week. Like the last time I did this, I didn't face some things, and this week I actually faced, "Hey, you were given this against your will. Like this was not what you wanted. You wanted to try to kick your addiction, nip it in the bud, and no telling what would have happened. I'm not saying I would have been on the straight and narrow back then. I had to go through this, so I accept that. But um so yeah, I've had to deal with that and forgive, that that psychiatrist. And so yeah, it's everybody's story is different though. A lot of people need to be on that medication for a period of time. So that's just my story. Tara says, but I want to rock with y'all. Liz says, did its job for my situation. Yeah, exactly. And that's all you can hope for. Like, um, with the fentanyl crisis that we have right now, I think, the more I've talked with people, I'm like, maybe this is the answer to get people on subs or methadone. Because it's kind of like, um, as an EMT, we look at like, we kind of triage people. And so if somebody is on the brink of death, you've got to do what you got to do. Like you have to stop the bleeding. So if you have to use a medication that's not the most ideal long term, you got to do what you got to do, you know? Tara says, "Oh wow, I didn't realize that's how you started subs." Yeah, I forget. I think I shared it on the Discord with maybe Mike and Megan the other night. But I think I really before then I had not opened up about it. I had like um really buried that, that memory, kind of blocked it out until this week. And Tala says, "I'm glad the kratom is helping a bit, bro." Yeah, it's that, dude. If I didn't have the kratom right now, I don't think I'd be able to sit in this chair, to be honest with you. And I want to be really careful with kratom. Um, and it's just kind of taking the symptoms away, and that's what I want. So I can do certain things because, man, it's like I think it was day 5 that I started feeling pretty good. I was actually feeling incredible for like most of the day. And then yesterday it was like I was having cravings. I was had the hot cold flashes again. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. Um, and today it was pretty bad. So having just a little bit of relief here and there. But I do like really want to remind myself to be very careful, because what Liz has shared is that she had to get on subs to get off of kratom, which my brother had to do the same thing, and he's already warned me about it. So, yeah. So Liz says same here at NA. Yeah. That was really painful for me because it was a good friend of mine that actually led an NA group, and she was telling me like you can go, but you can't get a chip. Like what? Like I'm in recovery, but I don't know. I mean, I can I can understand it a bit, you know, uh, but and nothing against NA. It helps a lot of people, but it's kind of what's the word? Like it kind of makes you feel kind of low when you think that you're trying to recover. You're not on the street scoring, drugs. Um, but yeah, Tala says, yes, please be careful and use with caution, brother. Yeah. And I really appreciate you, man. You've definitely given me the warnings. A lot of people have, and I definitely do not want to just roll into something else. And so I just every time I take it, which is very sparingly, by the way, I finally got a powdered kratom that's a way higher quality. I'm not taking the extracts. So it feels a lot better. It feels cleaner. I'm not getting high off of it, like I did after taking like 2 capsules of the extract. So I'm just using it very minimally, and yeah. Marky says, "Where's Kimmy?" Yeah, I'm wondering that because I messaged her earlier, and she normally responds throughout the day if I message her. I hope she's good. Like, I really hope she's good. Um, because I messaged her like twice, just checking in, just making sure her day was going good and whatnot. And she didn't even read the message, which is not like her. But it is Christmas time. Like a lot of people have a lot going on, so maybe it's something to do with that. Tara's wondering the same thing, and Marky says sounds like a good plan, slow mo. Yeah, man. I'm trying to take the lead after you and like Matt and Sonny and all these guys that have been successful to use it just as a tool to kind of get them through um, like the beginning of everything to be able to progress and just stop taking it because it is, trust me, like now that I'm taking the powder. Tala told me, a good way to mix the kratom. He recommended almond milk and honey, and I did that, and it wasn't bad for a bit. Maybe I didn't stir it right, but I got like this big clump, and I was like gagging. Like it tasted so terrible. But I remember that being the way it was for subs when I first took it. Like it made, I don't know. I guess I have a weak stomach when it comes to bad taste, but especially when I'm not feeling good. But I remember taking subs the first time, and I felt like I was about to throw up, and it was that same like gagging, like trying to hold your throw up. I know that's disgusting, but yeah, so it was similar, and but for me, like subs, I slowly over time grew to love that disgusting taste. So I'm sure it's like that with kratom as well. But I don't want to love the taste of kratom. I don't because I feel like it's the same way with alcohol too, right? A lot of people start drinking liquor or beer, or whatever it is, and they're like, "Man, that tastes so terrible." And then you start to really love it, and I think there's something to that, to where it kind of goes with cravings. And I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about that. So Jill says she's on her way over to Marky's. Man, Jill, the first time I looked at that, I thought you said she's on her way here. I was like, well, good, she'll make it, but that's funny. You're always bringing the humor, Jill. So Liz says, orange juice, mix it. Okay, I will try that as well. I've been drinking a lot of orange juice this week. Been taking so much vitamin C. Um, I actually probably should have. Well, I don't know if that would be a YouTube strike, how they're weird about things, but it's just vitamins. But I'll probably share it in the Discord, like all a picture of all the stuff that I'm currently taking. Um, that seems to really be helping. Tara says, "Hey Jill." Marky says, "That's how I took it, Liz, or grapefruit fruit juice." Yeah, I remember you saying that. And I didn't even think about it today, but I did wanna try it the way Tala because when he makes it, it actually looks pretty good. But I think it's probably how I was mixing it, and I don't know, if there's a better way to do that to where it doesn't just all clump up, in one spot, but Marky says, "My microwave is too dirty for the girls in this chat." Uh Gotta shake it, bro. Okay. Yeah, and Tala just told me that too. That makes so much sense, man, because I was just on the phone with Tala before this, and he was showing me his little shaker bottle. And that's like how much my brain is so foggy right now that like I think it was like 15 minutes after we talked, I started making it in just a regular cup. I actually have one of those shaker cups, and I didn't even think about it. Good to know, though. Hopefully, I'll remember that because I probably should take notes tonight because yeah, I'm just not with it. Liz says it will go right down. Okay, that's good to know because I'm telling you, like, I mean, I got enough. Like, I don't want to overdo it, but I measured it the way Tala told me. He's like, take just a little bit, and but I left some in there because it was just like that's all that was left, and I was not about to chug that after I had like kind of gagged 3 times. Tara says if Kimmy is on her way to Marky's, then I'm on my way too. I'll bring sourdough cookies. Yeah, if that's the case, then I'll beat both of you, and I will start heading down to Marky's now for those sourdough cookies, Tara. Arky says, "Just get one of those 11-ounce Tropicana OJs." Okay, it's a good idea. Bring it on, Tara. Liz says, "Gagging sucks." Yeah, it's bad. It's bad when that happens. It's like, um, but maybe it's good for me to not like the taste of kratom, so I'm not pissed at it. I don't want to like the taste of kratom. I don't want to like something that can be misused. Um, Kratom tastes rough at first. Yeah, man, it's just like taking a Suboxone, man. I remember just like seriously, after I would take it, even after it dissolved sometimes, like when I first started taking it, I was like looking for a trash can, bro. But like I said, I grew to love that taste. It's really twisted, like what our mind does when we get used to something, um, and we become dependent. You know, Liz says, "Good point." So yeah, I really want to hear how everybody else is doing. I don't want to make this all about me. So, um, I normally have things prepared. I don't like to just go into the live stream, and especially on a night like tonight, there's not a lot of people. I mean, I can talk to myself for hours if I need to. I like to ramble, but I definitely want to hear like what's going on with you guys. Anything new? Um, any topics you want to talk about? Marky says, I remember thinking, uh-oh, how am I going to do this? You talking about the kratom, Marky? Because I literally, if it's the kratom, I had that thought earlier. I was like, how am I gonna ever take this again? Like in the powder form. I even messaged Tala after. I was like, I see why you take this powder form that's not the extract. It's a better kind of kratom. But I even told him I was like, I may need to buy capsules because I am a wimp when it comes to like I have a weak stomach, especially right now. So yeah, the taste. Yep. Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because my brother, when he was I don't even know, I can't even remember how much he got up to, but it was an insane amount of kratom a day. Like, he spent so much money, like, he would buy multiple, like, big packs at a time, and he would come over and we'd hang out, and all I would ever see him do is have, like, that scoop in his hand, scooping kratom and just taking the kratom and using water to take the kratom. I'm almost like, "What in the heck, bro?" He made it look so good, but now that I've tried it, I'm like, "I don't know how he did that." But, he's on Suboxone right now because his kratom addiction got out of control. Like, and he's warned me about it because I told him straight up, over the years, we've, like, talked and shared, kinda tried to help each other through, our recovery. And there was a time period where we're both on subs, and almost every day we're texting each other like, "Man, I just wish I could get off this stuff. I wish I could get off this stuff." Um, and eventually he switched to kratom, and before you knew it, he was back on the subs. So I definitely do not want that to happen. So yeah, he was really concerned when I told him that, but he was the way he said it, he was like, "Bro, you're smarter than me," which I'm not. But my brother's personality is, even though like we both have done crazy things over the years, like crazy, crazy things. We were both using meth, but um, he took it to the level of the needle. Like, he was shooting up, he was speedballing. He was mixing meth and heroin at the time, and before he got into recovery. So I know for him, his extremes, like, they're way out there. So, but I'm really proud of him right now. He just recently got married. Um, was it like just a couple months ago? I was at the wedding, and he's married to an amazing woman. Um, she has a great career. Um, she doesn't have an addictive personality. She's really changed his life, and so I'm really proud of him. So if I'm sharing like anything about him, I only have good things to say because I'm super proud of him. He's also a personal fitness instructor, so he inspires me to like really get in the gym because he's killing it. He's gotten addicted to like exercise and body sculpting. So Jill says, "Have you tried the capsule kind? It seems to work for me as a supplement." Yeah, Jill, that's what I was saying. I told Tala, I was like, if I can't stomach this stuff, which I think you guys had some really good ideas. First of all, I need to shake it up, right? Instead of just stirring it like it's a freaking tea or coffee. Um, but if not, then I'll just get the capsules and fill them up. Yeah, capsules. Yep. Take one when it's unbearable, and then don't take another until it's unbearable. Yep, that's my goal, Liz. I don't I don't want to just take these things to take them. Um, and I'm hoping by next week I just don't take them at all. Like, I don't take it at all. Because my brother was like, he was really adamant. He told me 1 week, which has already been 1 week, but I was taking extracts, and I actually went 2 days without. After I talked to Kevin on Kimmy's live, which I know she's not here right now, but I really appreciate Kimmy for setting that up. Kimmy's a true friend, and that was super dope of her to take her time to contact Kevin and get him on. But anyways, when after talking to Kevin and realizing like, yeah, extracts, because I had no clue anything about kratom. I should have done research before. I probably should have done a lot of things before I started this taper and jumping off, but either way, I didn't realize, that was not the way to go until I was already that's what I had, and, so once I found that out, I decided I'm not taking these things, and I only took it one other time before the powder kratom arrived. It actually arrived today. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday was pretty bad, so I took 1 cap. I think it was kinda right around, like, bedtime, just to kinda relieve it, because, man, it was super uncomfortable yesterday, so Tara says, "Capsules sound like a good idea. How long do you think you're gonna take it?" Yeah, like I said, Tara, my goal, so it's been a week off, subs, so my brother told me not to go a week on kratom, but I feel like I didn't go a week on kratom. I was doing it here and there, and I was not taking it nowhere near the amount that, somebody had recommended me to take it. So, I don't wanna make excuses though and just like, but I really feel that, if I can just hold out for maybe a few more days, I don't wanna go past 2 weeks. That may change though, because, like, from hour to hour, things change. But I'm trying to, like, set goals for myself and keep to it. But my main goal right now is just not to get back on Suboxone. So, uh, but after seeing my brother the way he was, like, I definitely have like a respect for kratom, as in I'm not just going in just taking scoops and seeing what happens. Um, because I know it can turn into something way bigger, and then it could lead me right back to square one on, something like Suboxone. So I definitely do not want that. Marky says exactly, Liz. Bam, baby. Jill says try Moringa capsules and hydroxyzine. It will boost the power of kratom. Hmm, I've never heard of that. I've heard of hydroxyzine, but yeah, interesting. Paula says the powder is best for me. I see how the powder, like I told you earlier, man, the powder definitely seems better when you take it that way. The capsules, it's not gonna hit you the same way, and everything. But I can get over the taste of it. I just need to actually probably just shake it up with something instead of just like it all clumped in one spot. And then when I drunk that, I was like, oh my gosh. Make it in a smoothie with ice and something good like chocolate shake. That's a really good idea, Jill. That's a really good idea. That sounds really good right now. Liz says you got this slow mo. Yeah, I do, and I'm, here and there. Even today, like for the past 2 days, I've had these little thoughts. Like, I mean, you could just take like now you've been off it so long, you could just take like a speck, and you'd be good. And I'm talking about Suboxone. You could just take a speck, you know. And, yeah, I know that's not my thought. I know that that is, the addiction talking, and, the little addiction demons that come and try to negotiate with you, right? And, so I normally pray when that happens, and, man, the power of prayer, like every time I pray during all of this, felt super energized, so much better. Like, I mean, like endorphins. I mean, it's amazing what prayer does. So, um, but yeah, when I get those little thoughts, I'm like, I just, at least I'm thinking about it, because I used to think like, oh yeah, you took a break from these substances, so you could just have a little bit, right? And then it turns into a lot of bit. Jill says, no worries, it's a learning process. Exactly. And we're all on our own journeys. We're at different points in our journey. And so that's what's great about this group. Like there's so many people that have, like Marky is killed, he killed it coming off subs. And I can't even remember how long you've been off it, man, but it's like 2 or 3 years. Like that's super inspiring for me. And to hear about Tara's journey, like all of you guys, really inspire me. And we're just on our different paths. And it's good that we have a group that we can go to and just be straight up and share what we're going through, because like some recovery groups you can't do that, or you feel you can't do that, right? So Tara says, I wasn't trying to pressure you to make a goal. Was legit curious. No, I know, Tara, but when I think of you, I think of goals, which is a good thing. So you actually inspire me, especially with the SMART goals. I had never even heard about that, believe it or not, before you talked about it. So I'm trying to set goals, but I'm trying to set the goals that can be attained. Like I'm not setting myself up for, failure, letdown, and I mean, even if you don't accomplish your goals like in a set amount of time, or you struggle through it, like you're still making progress in your journey. And I think this week specifically, I've realized like sometimes we think that we're taking a step back in our recovery, in our life. Um, it's actually leading us down the path we need to be. And Tara and Tala and I had a great conversation last night about that. And so um, we just need to be, you know, not hard on ourselves. Just stay positive and do our best. Jill says, take it if you need it. Are you talking about the kratom, or because you know, and certain people have said if you need subs, I think Kevin even said like if you need to take, if you need to get back on subs, like a small dose of subs, and then look into the which I have an appointment for the Sublocade shot, because I did that um as a backup plan, because I know when you're in this stage, like it can get tricky, right? So I want to just make sure I'm not gonna fall into like some active addiction type thing. So you know, I have entertained that idea, but I'm just really trying to push it as long as I can, because I honestly I put so many years into it. And no shame on anybody else, because I know people have been on it a lot longer than me. Um, but I just kind of know right now the time is now. Like if I'm gonna do it, I need to do it now. Hollis says, I hope and pray to be done with Kratom too, brother. Just trying to decide if I want to or not. Yeah, and that's kind of like that contemplation phase. And I know you can do it, man. I mean, you kicked butt with your, alcohol issue. So, I mean, I know you can do it. Um but I also know what it feels like to be at that point and not knowing if you're ready. Because I was there for years and years, bro. I was not ready, but I wanted it. I really wanted to do it. It's the Bible verse I keep going back to. Like my spirit was willing, but my flesh was weak, right? And I'm definitely gonna keep you in my prayers, bro, about that. Marky says, respect the plant and it will do the same. You'll be done with all this soon, bro. It'll be in the rearview mirror. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, and I feel better about it. I know some people are like, well, natural doesn't mean good, heroin's natural. Like, you know. But I do somewhat feel better about it. And that may have something to do with my wife because of the culture, she grew up in. Um, they only take natural, so um, and I'll never forget the chemical smell on I think it was day 3. That chemical smell of subs like seeping out of my pores because it was a very similar smell like when I was detoxing off meth, and so I don't think coming off kratom you would smell like that. You know what I mean? So excuse me for a second. Hmm, hmm. Ugh, man. Jill says, I'm gagging thinking about those clumps. I've done that before. Yeah. Jill, I am like a kratom baby. Like when those clumps hit me, wow. It was overwhelming. Tala says, does your shaker cup have the metal ball in it? You know what? I think I lost that. I probably need to buy a new one because I just have the cup. I don't actually, it's not even I mean, I guess it's a shaker cup, but it doesn't have the little ball mixer thing. Jill says, and you can check that off your list. Suboxone, just one small piece. I take a small piece for pain. I don't think it really does anything, but I feel better. I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. Yes, I love that verse as well. Um, that's actually my son's favorite verse. Um, but yeah, I mean that's great, Jill. You're on a small piece. Like I'm saying, like everybody's on a different journey, and especially if you're in pain, I completely get it. Um, that's actually why I'm where I'm at right now because I had to get back on it for the pain because we all know like what pain pills can do to some of us. So it was like I weighed the options, and at the time, but looking back now, I mean, I was in a lot of pain when I had that arm injury, like I think it was a month or so ago. But looking back now, I kind of wish I would have just took kratom. But I didn't really. I had the perception, like after seeing my brother go through it, I had that perception of no, just don't mess with kratom. But then talking to some of you guys and seeing, what it's done for you, and the fact that most of you are no longer taking it, um, I feel okay about that. And even if you are taking it, like it is what it is. Like we all have our own timing. We're all gonna go through things differently. So Jill says, I think it's just in my head. The heating pad and Motrin made it go away. Yeah. So Jill, if you don't mind me asking, is it chronic pain or um, what specifically is going on? For me, I find like when I had the calcium deposit on my rotator cuff, I found really, because they were wanting to give me freaking what was it? Percocets. They gave me a huge script of Percocets, and I when I saw that, oh wow, Jill, you broke your back. That's no joke. That is no joke. So you're doing really, really well to just be taking a small piece and taking Motrin and a heating pad. Like that's serious, serious stuff. Um, so you're doing good. Um, but you know, the the issue with the rotator cuff was super painful. It was probably at one point, like when it first happened, it was reminiscent of when I broke my arm, and I had surgery. Like it was really bad. The pain was super bad. I couldn't even sleep. I would wake up like in tears from the pain, and had trouble like breathing through the pain. So you know it's bad when it's like that. But I would or I went to the ER, and I mean, all the times when I was in active like opiate addiction, I would go to the ER at the drop of a hat, right? You try to try to go get some whatever you could to get you through, right? And they would never give me anything. Like they'd give me like a freaking Norco at the ER and send me on my way. They try to give me tramadol, all that stuff. And but this time I went and the doctor prescribed me freaking 30 Percocets. And I was like, wow. And I knew at that point it was a test. So as soon as that happened, because I didn't ask him for any, I mean, not only that, they tried to give me a shot of Dilaudid, and that used to be my favorite stuff was a shot of Dilaudid when I would go to um the doctor, you know. But so that was like my first test, like, do you want to take this shot of Dilaudid? And I'm telling you, like I couldn't, I was in so much pain. You know, it would have helped, but I told him no, I refused it. Um, that was honestly the first time I've ever refused it, but I knew because, you know, I had just gotten off subs for a month and I was in like this critical place that if you start entertaining that stuff, um, it can get bad, right? So I told him no. I just don't prefer that strong of a medication. I really just want a Toradol shot and maybe a steroid. And so he gave me that, and I actually felt great. But during all that, really the biggest thing that helped me was taking turmeric, vitamin D, and potassium. So um, I didn't need those pain pills. Like, they're still at the pharmacy. They probably took them back or whatever at this point, but I never went and got them. You know, and in my addict mind too, there was a period where, you know, I didn't ever really wanna go get those, but there was a period where I was like, "Well, I mean, I could get them and take 1 or 2," and then, like I mean, I was thinking some really dumb stuff like, "Oh, I could sell these things." Like, why would I think of that? I don't do that anymore. You know, so when I was having thoughts like that, I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna get back on a low dose of subs." So, um, and Kimmy really helped me through that, like helping me debate what to do, and she was not abrasive about it. So I really appreciate her in that moment, for kind of like helping me think it through. And so I think I made the right choice, because I didn't know about the kratom, and who knows? I mean, I needed to go through this basically. Jill says, "Lot of metal in my body." Well, I feel for you, Jill. I don't have near the issue that you've gone through, but this arm right here is full. I have like a full metal plate um, down the side, and then 9 screws attached to my bones. So I know, like it takes forever to heal from something like that sometimes. So Jill says, "Seriously though, I give God the credit." Awesome, Jill. Yeah, same here. You know me. All glory to God. Jill says, "That's good slow mo." Tala says, "Jesus Christ is King." Absolutely, bro. Tara says, "I'm drinking ginger and turmeric tea now." Oh, that sounds so good. Sounds so good. Yeah, my wife, she makes these teas that I think it has the same stuff. Like it has ginger, turmeric, she squeezes lemon in it and maybe some like she'll do the shavings like lemon peels, maybe orange peels sometimes, and I want to say there's one other thing, um, but it's really good for you. Jill says, "Oh man, I bet that arm hurts like a bee." A bee. Yeah, yeah. That's Jill. That's when I started, messing around with pain pills. Honestly like before that happened. I had a crippling meth addiction, and I it was so bad. I tried getting in recovery, detox, all this stuff over and over, and I finally had to move to Jacksonville, Florida, in with a buddy of mine. He was like, "Man, you really need to just distance yourself." So I had to live there a little over a year, and I would have stayed longer. I love it down there. Um, I never wanted to leave really, other than to like I would come back and see my family and stuff. But I do remember like uh this is a funny Christmas story, but I came back from Jacksonville to see my family for Christmas, and right after Christmas, I was like, "All right, let's go." So I hit up my buddies, and I got high on meth for like 2, 3 days, and then I drove. This is really really bad, but I drove high on meth all the way back to Jacksonville, Florida, and I met my girlfriend at a freaking Chili's, and she was like, "What is wrong with you?" Because she had never seen me like that. So, um, but you know, after we started dating and everything, and I tried to not go back to Georgia for quite some time, because after that, I was like, I don't need to be around these people. And one night, because I still was kind of entertaining drinking, actually a lot, because like the culture down there, beach culture, everybody's smoking, cannabis, they're drinking, they're having a good time. I'm sure Tara can tell you some stories about this type of culture. But I was kind of caught up into that. And so I was drinking a lot one night and went outside and fell and broke my arm. And then I remember, I had to wait like, was it like maybe 2 weeks for surgery? So every time I moved my arm, it felt like a bag of rocks like crushing together. I had to have it propped up a certain way. My mom actually flew down to Jacksonville to take care of me after surgery, but they gave me so many pain pills, and I had never really taken other than like maybe having my wisdom teeth taken out. Like I'd never really taken pain pills. I always thought, oh, pain pills are like downers. I'm gonna fall asleep, so I'm not gonna like it. But the more I took of them, I was like, okay, I like this. So that was kind of the beginning of my realization that I enjoyed pain pills. Tara says, "Your wife's tea sounds delicious." Yeah, it really is. And it's very good for digestive health as well. It'll definitely clear you out. Jill says, "Wow, double whammy." Yeah, Marky Rizzo, the Florida gang. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, Jacksonville's still like my home away from home, and because I've been in recovery, I've distanced myself from a lot of stuff. Um, I go back there as much as possible. Like I'll take my wife. That's pretty much where we vacation because I just love it down there. But The last time I I did drink a lot, a few years ago when me and my wife first got together before we got married, and that was the last time I drank liquor, so I don't think I'll have, like, the alcohol issues anymore. Um, so, you know, I don't really associate it with that anymore. I used to associate it Florida with, just getting drunk, partying, going to listen to good music, eating good food at the beach. So Jill says, and you're young, it seems a lot to go through a stage of dumbness. Yeah, Jill, I've been through some very interesting things. Marky says I lived in Jacksonville when I was 18 and 19, West Side. Oh, West Side, Marky. What? Yeah, I lived 2 different places before I met my girlfriend, which I met my girlfriend at the beach, which, I mean, I thought I was gonna marry her at the time because like, that was such a romantic story, right? We met at the beach, but she wasn't for me, but, I wasn't for her, but, um, where was I going with that story? I lived at, Atlantic Beach, when I first moved down there, when I lived with my buddy, and, yeah, he was my roommate, and then when I met her, I moved in with her, and that was kind of on maybe the rough side of town. It was like, what they call Arlington. Um, so it was a little further away from the beach, but I loved actually living at the beach. But it is kind of that vibe, man. You got this vibe where it's like, um, I used to like have a one of those beach cruiser bikes. I rode it everywhere and would just go bar hopping and, spend so much time at the beach. But so yeah, guys, I mean, unless you guys want to talk about something, I may not go on for much longer. I just wanted to get on here tonight and hang out with you guys, just tell you how I'm doing. But I feel like I'm rambling on about myself a lot. So if anybody else wants to talk about anything, um, that would be good. But I've got stories for days, Jill. Like I could probably write a book about all the crap that I've been through. And most of it was self-inflicted. So it's not like, you know, the world was out to get me or something. I brought a lot of it on myself. So but yeah, guys, it's kind of a chill night, It seems like a lot of people are probably busy doing preparing for Christmas, which is awesome. Um, I hope to go to my family's um tomorrow. You know, my brother and his wife and kids are not going to be able to make it. My son's not going to be able to make it. Like so many people have the flu right now. I have the flu as well. But, what's up, Big Maw? Glad you can make it, man. You're kinda on the tail end. I might not stay on here much longer, but I'm glad you came in, bro. If you wanna talk about anything, just put it down in the comments. Drop some of those awesome, ideas of yours, and I will change the subject because 'cause I've been rambling about old, war stories for the past hour. So, but yeah, so a lot of people are not going to be there tomorrow, and I feel like I kind of have an obligation to be there. So at least I have the kratom to kind of help ease some of the symptoms. So hopefully I'll be able to make it. I'm gonna try to go to bed early tonight, but you guys know me. I stay up till like 5 a.m. and we have our little Christmas thing at like noon. So, I mean, that's not super early, but most people have it later in the day. And so I guess we'll see if I can make it. Marky says everyone's catching up on some sleep. No kidding. Yeah, I talked to Mike before, like probably 30 minutes before I got on here. Um, and he was saying, "Hey man, I really want to make it to your live." Or no, it was an hour before. He said, "I finally got some sleep. I really want to make it to your live, but I'm bad with, remembering time. So remind me before you go live." So I hit him up, said I'm going live in 5 minutes, and he's not here. So hopefully he's getting some much needed rest. Hopefully everybody is, or they're busy with their families or whatnot. Tara says, "Yeah, Marky, I need some extra Z's for sure." Yeah, that's super important. Big Mall says, "I will be praying for you, Slow Mo." I appreciate all the prayers, man, all the encouragement you sent me. It's definitely helped. I mean, so many people have been encouraging me. Matt sent me another package. What was it, yesterday? And he sent this message on post-it notes. It was like, he said something like, "I wanted to put a machete in the box, but it wouldn't fit. So I guess this little war encouragement will have to do." And it was just a really nice gesture, and so I really appreciate everybody for praying for me, giving me encouragement. And I hope to be able to do the same for you guys when you need it. So unless Big Mall wants to come up here and talk some baseball theory and cathedrals, then I may end the stream. By the way, Big Mall, I do want to have you on. It doesn't really necessarily fit my channel because it's uppers recovery, but I've been thinking about, us having a conversation, not necessarily live. It doesn't have to be live. Just whenever you get a chance, hit me up, bro, because we will record something and throw it up on YouTube. And I have so many videos I need to make. I have been putting those off. I have that one little video, so um, that would be cool. Yeah, man. Your theories like truly amaze me. They get me thinking, man, and they really make a lot of sense. So even though like I said, it's not really it doesn't necessarily go with the channel, but I think because we have such cool people that subscribe to this channel, I think that they would enjoy hearing it. So, all right. Well, I think I hate to end it at like an hour. Most people like Kimmy go on for like 5 to 10 hours, but probably gonna have to end it here tonight. I went to the I don't know how to say that. Ford's Hay Tower. Um, that's dope, man. Um, but yeah, I mean it's kind of a chill night. People are tired. They're got their family stuff. So um, the Fauché Tower could be a Millennial Kingdom building. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up after this, man, or send me a link or something. Always love looking those things up. Marky says I'm falling out anyways. Good night, everyone. Well, yeah, everybody, have a blessed Christmas with your families. If you don't, have Christmas with your family, also have a blessed day. Um, and I think we will be seeing Tara on her live stream on Christmas Day. So I encourage everybody to go there. Whoever wants to drop a link, I think maybe everybody subscribed to Tara, but that would be good. She always has some really good information. Big Mall says, "Love you, Slow Mo. Love you too, bro." He also says the building is in downtown Minneapolis. Right on, bro. Yeah, there's so many of those buildings, right? And there's probably even more that we don't like. A lot of people don't even talk about. Sarah says, "Fall out well, Marky. Sweet dreams." Xmas with Tara. Yep, I'll be live on Monday at 4:15 PST, which I believe is. I have to think about this sometimes because I get my time zones mixed up, but I think it's 7:15 EST. Um, Thanks, Marky. Thanks, Mo. Thank you, Tara, for being here and being as supportive as you are for the community. I really appreciate you. I really appreciated our conversation last night. I always learn so much from you, and love all of you guys. I'm glad you can make it, and here is discovering Nicole in the last 5 minutes. What's up, Nicole? Glad you could make it. We're actually about to wind down because it seems like everybody is tired tonight, probably from all of the holiday stuff going on. But I'm glad you could make it. Maybe you can watch the replay. Big Mall, I wonder if most cities in America were actual millennial kingdom cities during Jesus's millennial reign. Huh. That's yeah, that's interesting, man. Like I said, I'm gonna have to have you on the channel. It does not fit my channel at all, but I just, you know, um, I like kind of having these conversations, and all the conversations we've had have been really productive. So definitely want to have you on the channel. Tara says, "Hey Nicole." Nicole says, "I wanted to tell you if you are struggling, remember triggers have no power over you." Amen, Nicole. Absolutely. That's a great reminder. Big Mall says the millennial kingdom cities were huge and tall, taller than Mount Everest. Yeah, bro, it's wild, right? It's crazy. Nicole says you hold the power to make good choices today. You are powerful, not powerless. Absolutely. Yeah, much love to you, Nicole. I've really enjoyed watching. Actually, you were the first person I found that led me to Kevin and led me to this community. So I really appreciate you and the content you put out. Um, so I appreciate you dropping in. Marky says I'm down to hear some new theories. Yeah, man. We're definitely gonna have to have, even on the live stream, like a theory night, kind of to change up the pace. Obviously, this is an uppers recovery channel, about mostly about stimulants because I feel, Nicole's doing great work about that, and there are people that are, but I felt it was also needed to share my story and also my addiction to opiates, but we need to break it up sometimes and just have fun. Nicole says, "Okay, love yous." Tara says, "Nothing make wakes Marky up like new theories." Big Mall says, "Josiah Vieira." Marky says, "It's really revs my engine, Tara." Nicole says, "I subscribe, so I will see y'all more." Well, I appreciate that, Nicole. Big Mall says, "That would be awesome, slow mo." And Nicole says, "Absolutely, it's needed." Right on. Yeah, it definitely is. To break the stigma, to show that people do recover from a crippling meth addiction, is really important. So that is the whole idea for this channel, among other things. But Big Mall with a baseball. But anyways, guys, it was great being with you guys tonight, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.